Okay, guys, today we will be talking about and evaluating the Reds' second round pick in the MLB draft this year, who is Lyon Richardson. He is a right-handed pitcher out of Jensen Beach High School, which that is in Florida. Where can I start here? I said that they should have picked a pitcher in the first round instead of the third baseman because we're kind of loaded up on the third baseman. I actually think this is a pretty decent pick. I mean, we could have gone pitcher first and second round because we really need some better pitching. Not to knock on Maul, Homer, which I actually think we can trade him because actually this guy kind of looks like Homer Bailey. If you look in the face and compare him, this guy kind of looks like Homer Bailey. We really needed some better pitching. No knock on the pitchers we have now. It's just I think it's mainly the pitching coach and Brian Price was just a scapegoat in that situation. I think it was a mix of the general manager, who's now just the president of baseball operations, Dave Williams. I think he should be completely out of the picture because it's not fair to everybody else that he's trading away all the good players, which that's kind of making us lose, but that's just my view on it. Okay, so now to evaluate him. He's a right-handed pitcher. We could have gone lefty. I mean, we don't really have that many lefties in the lineups. But I think he's a pretty good pick for a second rounder. He seems to be pretty consistent. He is a pitcher, which we kind of need that. Because the pitching really hasn't been that good the past years. I think that's mainly the problem because our pitching hasn't been good. We've been losing games. If you look at the people on the team, it may also be a confidence issue, but the people on the team, if you look at the talent on the team, I fully believe that this could actually be a World Series winner team. It has the potential to be, definitely, Let's see, so he's a right-handed pitcher. We're probably just going to use him as a starter instead of a reliever. He may come in one or two games to relieve if the starter gets injured or something like that and they need a longer relief pitcher kind of person. He looks to have good stamina, good stuff, decent control. I think that could be worked on in the minor leagues. That's definitely a point that he may need to work on. It looks like he has a pretty good throwing motion. Maybe his velocity can get up a bit more too. I don't know all of his pitches, but I feel that every pitcher should learn a few pitches, and those are the slider, four-seam fastball, curveball, changeup, and the slider, fastball, changeup, curveball, and the sinker. At least those ones. That would be the perfect repertoire for a pitcher to be working with. Definitely a slider and a four-seam fastball along with a curveball, maybe even a changeup. But definitely you will need that slider, and who doesn't really know how to throw a fastball too? It looks like he has a pretty decent first four-seamer. From what he's throwing here, this kind of looks like a change-up to me. But let's talk about his four-seamer first. Okay, so his four-seamer looks pretty good. Maybe a bit more velocity and a bit more break. But it seems to be a pretty effective pitch against batters. Now for the changeup, which is what it looks like he's holding right now. Let's see, where can I begin with this one? Okay, so the changeup. It depends on what kind of situation you're using it on. If you throw a changeup before a fastball, it makes the fastball look a lot more faster than it actually is. But his changeup, it could use a bit more velocity and a bit more break. The control seems pretty decent. but like definitely a little bit more velocity and break could not hurt it. And from what I'm looking at where his stats are, he's not really using it in the situations that he needs to be using them in. It seems to be like a pretty decent pitch to hit, which he could use a little bit more of the an ability to make players swing and miss at his pitches. That could definitely improve his skills. He could also use some help on a lot more of his pitches. He may need to add or drop some pitches from his repertoire. Pitches that I would use in a repertoire, I would consider these are, normally it's just 5 pitches for each pitcher, at maximum, so you can put these 5 however you want them, but definitely at least promise me you'll have a slider and a fastball in there somewhere. So these pitches are pretty effective pitches. I don't know if he throws them or not, which I'll get into that in another video. I'm not going to ramble on about that, but I think this is a pretty solid pick here. He looks to be good. He could use a bit more of those. Well, he could use a bit more of velocity on everything he can throw here. If you can rough out all the edges, he could definitely be a diamond and a definite great starter. But I'm just not seeing it here. And I think that he would be a great pitcher to be working along with whoever else we have in that lineup other than him and Hunter Green. I think that a great one for the future to look out for would be for Hunter Green to be the first one in that rotation. Then I would look for him, and then whoever else, which we did draft another pitcher, which I'll get into him in another video. His name is, just let me find it here. What is his name? His name is Josiah Gray, I believe. So I think that would be the first 3. Green, then Richardson, then Gray. That would be a great pitching matchup for anyone to really see there. He looks to be a great pick. I would have drafted him a bit sooner. There are a couple other pitchers which I believe we should have went pitcher first round, not third baseman. But this dude could definitely be something at the minor leagues. Can develop him right. He could definitely be a good pitcher. I would probably compare him to a Sonny Gray kind of person, or a John Lester kind of guy, a very dominant kind of guy at the minor leagues can get it right with developing him. He definitely has some potential there. I believe that you should we should be waiting a bit to see this dude in the minor leagues, but once we do, I believe that the minor league not the minor leagues, in the major leagues, but I think it'll be worth it because I advocate, especially with pitchers, with any players, but especially with pitchers, because those are some of the most important people. Are the pitchers, because they are the main defensive presence. If you kind of think about it, there, really if a pitcher can be dominant, you don't really need. If the pitcher's dominant and getting a lot of strikeouts, you don't really need your infielders or outfielders if your pitcher is doing good. So I think the pitchers should be the main focus of a lot of organizations to develop. But I advocate not neglecting those guys that are in the infield or outfield, because they are pretty important too. So the minor leagues can take its time with them and develop him. And like if the minor leagues can get it right, I think that he could be a very dominant pitcher to look forward to in the future. No matter if the Reds have him or not, he will be a very dominant pitcher if you can give him the chance and the tools to be. That's kind of the minor league's job. But really, he's a pretty decent pitcher. That's really all I have for this video. Please leave a like and subscribe if you would feel like that doing that. That would be great for me, and it definitely helps out the channel. And if you would like to subscribe to the channel, and if you do subscribe, please turn on that notification bell so that you get notified every time I post a new video. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time.